right, man, we're rolling.
All right, brother. So I don't know about you, but I always like to ride the back of the pack.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Cool
I'm gonna be in back. I'm gonna pull over right here.
Yep. I was always curious how you got those shots, man. I'm like,
that's it, baby.
I'm like, he's got to come back for the camera, right?
Every time. But hey, it's like being in a gym.
Yeah, it adds to that continuity of motion, man. Like, it's good storytelling, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Damn, my exhaust is loud through your center. I'll probably ride on your right just so you don't hear that the entire time.
That'd be good. So yeah, Blockhead, I always ride in groups. That's kind of one of my things, right?
Right.
So, I always ride in the back. Always in the back. One, I get better shots of all the bikes.
True.
And two, man, every accident I've seen has come from behind.
Yeah.
Someone not paying attention and rear-ending me. So for me, bro, it's always in the back.
Oh, like another bike rear-ending you.
Yeah, man.
Oh, wow.
Someone missing the clutch or just, doing something silly.
Yeah, a lot of our rides, man, like, I don't traditionally lead. Like Reese is usually the guy that plans out our rides. And so he'll be in the front. Usually I'll kind of be in the middle or towards the back. And like you said, you get better shots in the back, with everybody.
The only thing that stinks is sometimes this happens where you get
cut off.
Yeah. I like to think of my line of motorcycles as one big vehicle.
Yeah.
I don't ever, I just stick with it.
It's like a snake sometimes.
That's right.
I think we had a ride of, I want to say like 15, 16 people, the last ride we did. And man, it was real hard keeping everybody together, even though we were like blocking and stuff.
Right.
But people get aggressive whenever there's like a bunch of bikes. I mean, people in cars get aggressive.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. People in cars will be like, they'll want to pass you and they'll cut the group in half, you know, like it's wild how pissed off people in cars get, man.
They do get mad.
Oh, no way. He's got a Silverback license plate?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, his name's Silverback Seth. So he's been on the Ultimate Fighter, the UFC. He's been Strike Force. He's fought all the major promotions.
Nice.
He's the first guy ever to knock out Kimbo Slice on live television.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah, he took the fight on like 2 days' notice. So he owns a gym right here in town. And him and I have just worked together in the MMA business for years. So anytime I come to Orlando, I always hit him up.
That's great. That's crazy. First dude that knocked out Kimbo Slice.
Yeah, Silverback Seth Petrozelli.
All right, so normally I start out my my vlogs doing what up blockheads.
Oh, so none of that was even in the vlog?
No, yeah, it's all recorded.
Oh, okay.
But we can just what up blockheads right here. So,
all right.
What's up blockheads? Doing a ride here with Adam Sandoval, and he's doing his tour kind of around the southern states right now since it's nice and chilly up north. So you were coming from Jacksonville, right?
Yeah.
Made your way down here for bike night and to hang out. And next stop is Treasure Coast, you said?
Yeah, I got to be to Treasure Coast tomorrow and then down into the Keys for a couple days.
Oh, yeah.
I recently saw your video where y'all went down to the Keys.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, I
Man,
did.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yo, when you're down there, you got to stop by this place called Blue Heaven for breakfast.
Blue Heaven.
Blue Heaven.
Is that in actually Key West?
Yeah, Key West.
Yeah, cool.
Place is amazing, and get their key lime pie, dude.
Oh man,
real good. I mean, I know you eat clean and stay away, but have at least like 1 or 2 bites. Split it with somebody, you know.
I'll have to go there on Sunday.
Calorie free on Sunday.
Calorie free, man, baby. I eat whatever I want on Sundays. I make a pig of myself.
Oh, nice. That's your cheat day.
That's right.
If you guys aren't familiar with Adam Sandoval, I'll drop a link to his channel right here. You kind of want to tell, like, I mean, I'm sure there's tons of people that watch both you and I, both of our channels, so I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with you, but for those that aren't, you want to tell them a little bit about yourself and what you do? You've been living off a bike for what, 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years now, man. Just traveling the country. I've been coast to coast 11 times in the last 4 years and north to south 9.
That's crazy.
So it's been a lot of riding. I sold my house. I said, you know what? I'm done with this corporate life. I was actually working with Seth there, and in the MMA business, we were working to get MMA in the Olympics. And I said, screw it. I sold my house, sold my motorcycle, sold my vehicles, packed up everything I could on my bike, including my boy Scooter here. And I set out to be the first person in history to ride to every dealership in America and do it all in one trip, you know?
Yeah, nice.
So along the way, we broke a few world records. You know, I've raised more for charity than anybody in the history of the world on a motorcycle.
That's awesome, man.
I've shared the road with more motorcyclists than anybody alive. And I've done more miles in a single country in one journey than anybody in the history of the world. So kind of that's my resume, my motorcycle resume, if you will.
Respect, sir.
Thanks, brother.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I think I originally came across your channel a while back, and I kind of started watching, and I'm like, man, like this guy is super genuine. Like his cause is just super heartfelt. He's doing so much good for the community. Like one of your episodes, you actually said one of your regrets was that you didn't enlist in the military and you didn't serve.
That's right, man.
That's like kind of one of my regrets too, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of how this whole thing started for me, bro, is I had a friend who was a recruiter, a chief in the Navy, and a good friend of mine, and you know, I was in my 30s, and you know, my options were really limited to get in the military, and so I just said, you know what, how about I use my skill set to try to make a difference for the military. So basically all the riding I do around the country always has a military charity theme to it.
And so last year you gave away like a bunch of Harleys, right?
Yeah, so after I hit every dealership in the country, Harley Davidson came to me and they gave me this 2017 Road Glide and said, hey, you want to ride for another year? And I said, yeah. So they said, well, what do you want to do? I said, what I want you to do is I want you to give me 8 more of your Milwaukee 8s,
nice.
And I want to give them free of charge to veterans. And just ride around the country and surprise veterans, hand them keys to new bikes.
Hell yeah, man.
And somehow I talked them into it, and they gave me the bikes. And yeah, so for the last year, I've just been riding around giving away bikes to motorcycles or giving away motorcycles to veterans for free, all Milwaukee 8 touring models.
Giving motorcycles to veterans, man.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, there's nothing more humbling.
I guess you could say you were giving veterans to motorcycles too.
I guess so,
like
right?
How you originally,
yeah. That's true. That mistake worked, but
yeah, I mean, it's a way of life, dude. It's a total game changer.
Bro, I'm telling you, you walk up to a veteran and you hand them the keys to a motorcycle, say it's yours. Thank you for serving my country.
Yeah.
If that stuff don't humble you, nothing in the world will, man. I mean, that is probably some of the most influential things I've ever done in my life, you know?
Yeah, I bet it's got to be a very rewarding feeling for sure.
Man, yeah, it just influenced me big time, you know? It just made me want to keep going.
Yeah, and so now you're giving away boots, right?
Yeah, so, you know, I was doing this little Gulf Coast tour here, and Harley Davidson footwear, if you follow my channel, my boots are like kind of a staple for me. It's kind of like you not showing your face. And so I got these old cowboy boots that have been coast to coast 11 times. I'm either beat to hell, I got in a wreck, they got cut off me in the ditch, I sewed them back together, finished my trip in them.
No way.
And Harley Davidson footwear is always trying to get me to wear their boots, and I was always like, oh, I can't. And so they came to me, they're like, come on, man. I said, listen, I'll tell you what, you give me a unlimited amount of free boots to go around this Gulf Coast tour and give away boots to veterans, and I'll wear your boots on the trip.
Nice.
And they said, you know what, that's an admirable cause, we'll do it. So they gave me boots, so I ride around every couple days, once a week. I surprise a veteran, hand him a new pair of boots, and just say, you know, thank you for my freedom.
Yeah, we got a couple of vets.
What's your website?
What's my website? AdamSandovalRides.com. Sorry for yelling in your ear there, brother.
No, you're good, man. Yeah, we got a couple of vets that ride with us. One of them's name is Dan, and then the other name is John. He's actually a service-disabled vet, Purple Heart and all that.
Oh, that's awesome, man. So, are you familiar with challenge coins?
Heard of them.
Okay, so challenge coin is a military thing. It's like you earn them. If you do something good, you know, your commanding officer or somebody can give you a challenge coin as kind of a reward, and they're just keepsakes. They're medals, if you will. So anytime you do something good, you can give somebody a challenge coin, and it's just a way of showing respect.
I think I saw that on your channel.
Yeah.
A guy got a challenge coin, right?
Yeah, so I collect challenge coins. That's kind of my thing.
Oh, nice.
So that's really a long way of telling you that, you know, you should always carry a challenge coin with you anytime, because if you go to a bar and you lay out a challenge coin, anybody who doesn't have a challenge coin, then they have to buy you a drink, right?
Nice.
But if their challenge coin trumps yours, then you got to buy them a drink. Yeah, that's kind of the behind the scenes game.
Is that like POG or something?
Yeah, I guess it could be.
But like military level?
For adults, yeah, for hardcore. So
it's like your POG, like, or your challenge coin slams theirs.
Yeah, exactly right. So
awesome.
I carry a Purple Heart challenge coin that a gentleman for, you know, there's one way to get a Purple Heart, right? That's to lose blood overseas.
Right.
And so when you get a challenge coin, you get your Purple Heart. You get your Purple Heart, you know, actual like pendant metal, and then you get 2 Purple Heart challenge coins. And so a Purple Heart recipient gave me one of his challenge coins.
Damn, that's awesome.
Dude, humbling, man. Again, everything I do just always keeps me so humble, you know?
That's cool, man. I mean, you got a big heart, dude. That's like one of the things, and Eric will probably hate me for telling you this, but I don't even know if I should tell you. We'll keep it a secret.
All right.
Until it goes up online. But he's like, I told him, I'm like, yo, Adam reached out, like, because I mean, a lot of people have posted on my videos to reach out and talk to you and basically like try and ride with you.
Yeah.
And I've seen like comments on your videos as well.
Yeah.
And so like you and me have kind of been talking back and forth on and off. And like I know Eric's a huge fan. Greg always watches your videos. Like there's a lot of the Blockhead dudes that, you know, are subscribers of yours. So whenever I was like, yo, Adam reached out and he's coming through Orlando, he's like, oh my god. He's like, I feel like a Britney Spears fangirl going to meet Britney Spears.
Oh no. Oh no.
Like,
I like to think I got a little bit more grit than Britney Spears.
No, yeah, a lot more grit than Britney Spears.
So yeah, dude, I had to reach out, bro. I knew you were in Orlando. I know because I watch all your test ride videos here at Orlando Harley Davidson. I always find them intriguing, and you know, I kind of picked your site a little bit when I decided I wanted to start adding a little bit of motor vlogging to my channel.
Yeah.
So I started, you know, looking at what you do because, you know, I liked it. So
thanks, man.
When I knew I was coming to Orlando or was close to you, dude, I absolutely had to reach out.
I appreciate that, sir.
Yeah, man. No doubt.
I mean, I've only been doing it for a little bit. I mean, you've been, what, 4 years that you've been kind of on the road? And
yeah, man.
Yeah, so I think I've been since August of 16, so I mean, it's like no time at all. But dude, getting involved with this community has just been totally insane and life-changing. I mean, the fact that, you know, I'm sitting here riding with you is pretty cool, man.
Hell
pretty
yeah,
pretty
brother.
surreal, dude. I don't know, working with Harley, and I tell people this all the time, but like whenever you get into Harley, and it's not me pitching, it's not me trying to get people to buy it, but like you buy into a culture, man. It's like
exactly right.
Such a culture around it, and if you know the roots, like where it came from, you understand like where that culture comes from.
Absolutely, man. That's exactly it. You know, I tell people all the time, I don't care what you ride. Look at Seth's on a victory right there. I don't care what you ride. What I do care about is that you're part of the culture.
Yeah.
And that, you know, look, we're taking a selfie with Seth's phone over there on his handlebars.
Nice.
And there you go, get in there, man. Seth's pretty cool, man. He's got a dope Instagram. You know, it's a culture, bro. I agree 100%, man. I ride Harley because of the culture.
Yeah.
You know, there's all kinds of beautiful bikes out there, but only one culture like Harley's.
Yeah, I mean, I've had sport bikes as well. I owned an R6.
Me too.
I currently own a CBR1000RR, and like riding that thing around, it's a fun bike. It's a totally different machine.
A lot of people don't know my first bike was a Katana 600.
No way.
Yeah, I rode that thing all over the place.
How tall are you?
Me, I'm 6'2".
6'2" and a Katana. How'd you feel on that thing?
You know, I didn't know any different.
Yeah.
You know, I rode it everywhere. I was living in California. You know, I mean, I'd say that was my first street bike, you know.
You said you were living in California, so that's when you had a home.
I did. I had a home, man. I remember those days.
Yeah, so for all you blockheads, I was asking him where he would call home, and he wouldn't give me an answer.
There isn't one, bro. You know, I mean, the road is my home, I guess, as cheesy as that is. It's just the truth, man.
I don't think it's cheesy, man. Like, not many people can say that, you know. I mean, maybe truck drivers.
Yeah.
But not a lot of people can actually say they don't have a mailing address where they get. Like, I was trying to think of ways to send you like a T-shirt or a hat, like the hat that I gave you today, and it's like, how the hell would I get him something? Where do I mail it to? And I'm like, I would have to mail it to the dealership ahead of wherever you're going.
Yeah, that's how I basically get all my mail. So my father has been kind enough to handle a lot of my logistics and things. So I send all my mail to his house, and then he gets it, and he knows where my dealerships I'm going, and then he ships everything to me ahead. So it's like a two-tier process for me to get mail.
Yeah, man, I was trying to get some shirts here your way before, but I might have to go through your dad to get them to you.
Yeah, that's cool. He'll send them out to me. He'll send them to a dealership ahead of me. Right on.
Yeah, I'll have to get that information from you beforehand.
Yeah, well, it's on my website. You just scroll to the bottom of my website. It's the mailing address on my website.
What is the URL for that?
Just AdamSandovalRides.com.
So, have you heard of Ace Cafe before?
I have not. You know, I've never done a lot in Orlando. You know, I came through and hit the dealers, but, you know, last time I was at this dealership, it was my second day on the road on my 4-year trip. Yeah.
Wow.
That was my second day on the road. It was my first full day on the road.
Wow.
Like where I woke up on the road, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I was watching one of your videos a while back, and you were at some big property, and there were like custom bikes in like a barn or something like that, like on display. And you were like taking, like you set up a tent by a river or something.
Oh, yeah.
You were just like woke up and like washing your clothes or something. I'm like,
man.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, I've got it a little better now. I still do that sometimes, but you know, I've gotten a little better now. I got that old school bus, but yeah, for the first year plus on the road, man, there was no home, there was no money for hotels. I just get a tarp and stretch it off. It was actually a poncho liner from the military.
Nice.
And I just sleep underneath that. Scooter and I. Here we go. They're blocking for us.
Thank you. Yeah, so I mean, you obviously get a ton of attention for Scooter, because people don't really like, even sitting here in traffic, like rolling up beside you. I've been watching people, and as they go by, they do a double take as they're looking at Scooter. They're like,
oh yeah,
is that a dog? Like, yep.
Yeah, when I first started, before I even started, you know, I'd always throw them on the back of my bike like this and head down to the beach and stuff. I was living in Fort Myers, and people would trip out all the time, and I always promised him someday we were going to take a big cross-country trip. I don't think he knew it was going to be like this.
Yeah.
But he loves it, man.
Dude, I love it whenever you post up on Instagram and it's a picture of him hanging out of your backpack, or like the one at the Salt Flats.
Yeah.
And you're like, you say caption this. Dude, I'll go through every one of those comments, read those
There's a lot of
captions.
them, man. People are crazy, though. They say some of the weirdest things.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, dude, what are you thinking?
Yeah, no joke, man. Especially, I mean, you know as well as I know, being on YouTube, being like in the public kind of light, how weird stuff can get sometimes.
It can get weird,
comments,
brother.
Yeah.
But you know what? As weird as it gets, I'm always thankful.
Oh yeah, man. I would say it's like 1% weird and 99% just really positive.
Yeah.
Like, you know, feel good out there.
Hey, we live in a unique time, man. We live in a time where the creators have the control. Like, you know, it used to be if you wanted to have your story told, or you wanted to have your opinions told, you had to, you know, find some suit in some big production company somewhere in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And that was the only way to get your story told. And now we live in a time where you can tell your story, and if people like it, they just follow it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a really unique time. We're lucky.
Yeah, super lucky. Like the internet, you know, it's like the great equalizer.
It really is, you know. Like I talk to guys. There's some guys that have been on the road really long time. Like, have you heard of like Scooter Tramp Scotty or any of them?
No.
Okay, these are guys that have been living on the road. You know, I mean, not like I do. They go to a town, they set up, they work. You know, they might live there for a month and then move to the next town. But they don't just go every day like I do. But, you know, their stories don't get told as well because they're old school, and well, hell, there wasn't internet, there wasn't smartphones.
Yeah.
You know, so they didn't get a chance to tell their story the way that I've been blessed to.
Yeah. So you started up and you kind of had a vision, a cause, you know, of like, you know what you wanted to do, especially with like charity. I feel like it was a little different. I started originally wearing a GoPro on my helmet because Orlando traffic, dude. Like, it's crazy here. So it's like, all right, if somebody's gonna like, if I'm gonna get into a wreck or anything like that, you always have somebody telling you about a friend that they know that got a motorcycle and got into an accident or died or something like that, right? And so I'm like getting into motorcycles, and I was kind of like, damn, well, these things must be dangerous, but I still want to try it out. Started wearing a GoPro and filming all the stupid shit that I say.
And then you just blew up.
For some reason, people decided to hit subscribe. Yeah, man, it's awesome to be able to like reach out, and like you said, the fulfilling feeling that you get, it's neat to be able to like kind of read that and have an influence on people through social media. Like I've got a couple of how to ride videos up, and I've had so many people message me about those, saying that they basically got the confidence to get a motorcycle and learn to try and even attempt to ride and take the MSF course because of some of that stuff. So
isn't that cool? I mean, it's such a good feeling, bro.
So Ace Cafe, just to give you a little info about it.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Before we get there, we're actually going to the dealership first up at Orlando Harley, and then we're going to ride out with a bunch of people from there. But Ace Cafe is basically established, or I guess the first one was over in London. I think there's 2 or 3 locations, but they chose Orlando to be like their next up location. And they got this spot downtown. It's this historic building. It's a huge building, absolutely huge. But the motorcycle culture here in Central Florida has just absolutely been drawn to them like moth to flame, dude. And the bike nights, we were just talking about it as we were there at Standard, have almost gotten overwhelming because they've got a huge parking lot, but man, that thing fills up.
Really?
So they've basically been around since, man, I couldn't even tell you the date, a long damn time. One of the cool stories that one of the guys that works there told me was that the Beatles back in the day over in London used to go to the Ace Cafe and study rock and roll because they had a jukebox, and you know how rock and roll used to be, what, illegal?
Yeah,
over in the UK, you know, you had pirate radio and all that stuff, and so the Beatles used to go there and they would basically study the chord progressions and all that stuff of rock and roll. And so somehow it ended up getting into the bike culture and the, you know, motorcycle, like motorsports culture. So they've got all sorts of nights up there.
Very cool.
We've got a night coming up that, man, I wish you could be here for, because it's like just before Bike Week on March 10th. It's going to be the FXR Dyna Day, and got a lot of sponsors for that. I know Orlando Harley's like the title sponsor, Blockhead sponsoring as well, the Iron Lilies, FX or Hot Bike Mag. I mean, you were wearing the Hot Bike shirt, so I'm assuming you know who they are.
Yeah, I wanted to be part of that. I really did. But unfortunately, I'm doing a charity event in Phoenix, Arizona that day.
Man, that's crazy.
At Scottsdale Harley Davidson, the largest Harley Davidson in the world.
I've been there, man. I was there like a year ago.
Yeah, it's sick, right?
The place is huge. Yeah, and they've got, I'm pretty sure they've got a tattoo studio in there too.
Oh yeah, tattoo studio, movie theater. I mean, they got it all. Here, let's get up here before someone tries to cut in.
And they've also got like a basement that you don't see, but one of the salesmen took us down there and showed us like all the bikes, the inventory that they've got.
Well, I've got a very good friend there named Shelly, and she runs all the marketing and very, very philanthropic. I don't know.
Philanthropic?
Philanthropic? Very. Anyhow, she does a lot of charity work. She's awesome.
Philanthropy-like. Let's go with that.
Philanthropy-like.
Is it philanthropic?
It's philanthropy, but I don't know how you say it. Philanthropic or philanthropic?
Yeah.
Philanthropic?
Sounds good to me, dude.
All right.
That's what technology's for.
I heard that.
Hey Siri, is philanthropic a word?
Yeah, you can Google that and put the right spelling on the screen when we're trying to fucking.
Correction. Adam nor I are thesauruses or dictionaries. All right, man. Well, before we get too close, I mean, is there anything else that you'd want? This is kind of. You said you used to do the motovlog thing with it actually on your helmet, but you kind of got away from it.
Well, it's not that I got away from it. It's not really my thing. I had a lot of people requesting it, so I've tried it. I haven't gotten real good at it, and you know, you do such a good job at it. So I really only do it on like dream rides. So like if I do a moto vlog, it's going to be up like the Coastal One or through the Great Redwoods or over the Rocky Mountains or the Tail of the Dragon, or you know, some sort of a dream ride that people dream about. Oh man,
he kill switched you, bro.
You know,
you about to hit him?
Yeah, well, I thought it was maybe like a homeless person coming up on me. So, but he did it all wrong. You're supposed to roll up next to somebody, do it, and then roll off. If you gotta get off your bike, that breaks all the rules, man. That's like cheating, isn't it?
He's not gonna let that one go now. We're gonna hear about that forever.
Yeah, that would hurt my hand about it. His helmet. Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, you were reared back, man. You're about to get him. I'm like, oh.
This is natural.
Slow motion. It is running in like 60 frames per second, so get the helmet flexing a little bit. Well, cool, man. I appreciate you letting me set your helmet up to motovlog with me, man.
Dude, you did it awesome. You're gonna have to teach me how to do this so I can do it on my dream rides a little better.
Oh, dude, for sure.
I'll give you credit on them.
Yeah, man, most definitely. I'll show you how I put that one together. Nothing too crazy.
You know, I did one, but my microphone kept cracking. I went through like 3 different microphones and couldn't get it right.
What GoPro did you have?
I had the Session.
Oh, okay, yeah, that one has some problems here and there.
Oh, really?
Like even this one, the one that you've got right now, is a Hero 6, so it's the latest one. and has some issues with the microphone, but I finally found one that doesn't have any pops or clicks or any of that stuff. So
yeah, that's what I was getting.
Hopefully it shouldn't be that bad. We'll see.
I was getting pops and clicks.
Yeah, it's super annoying. Like, you can't even use the footage at that point.
Right.
Thanks for letting me set you up. Thanks for dual vlogging with me.
Hey, man.
I don't have near as fast as turnaround time as you do on your videos, so I'll keep you posted as to when it's ready to go.
All right, man.
Anything else you want to throw in, mention?
No, there's my bus Igor.
Hell yeah, man. Yo, I saw that thing pulling up. I'm like, yes. The beast.
Igor is a beast, dude. He's a big old ugly beast.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, well, you guys be sure to go check out Adam Sandoval. Link right here on the screen, as well as in the description below. Scootin', what's the hashtag you use? Scootin' America?
Hashtag Scootin' America, man.
Thank you again. It's been a pleasure to ride with you. Bike night's gonna be a lot of fun, dude.
I can't wait to check it out.
You're gonna get in those slow races?
I'm down to do a slow race if there is one.
All right, man. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button. If you guys aren't subscribed already, what do you say? Smash that subscribe button?
Smash it, hit it, whatever you like to do. Just make sure that when you leave this page, that button is lit up.
I like it. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit that bell icon so it sends you notifications and all that for future uploads and activity. Check out Patreon if you guys want some behind the scenes footage. I'm sure we'll probably have some outtakes from this whole thing. Maybe the what was that word we were talking about again? I forget.
Philanthropic?
Ooh, yeah, philanthropic.
Well, it's philanthropy is what it is. I'm a philanthropist, and it's philanthropy,
yeah.
But philanthropic. I don't know. I'm a
all right, man. Appreciate it, sir.
Rock and roll, buddy.
All right, you guys ride safe out there. Stay vigilant. We'll catch y'all later. Oh, excuse me. I gotta get that scooter shot. Later, Scooter.